is Lauren Hollows for NOI Education Services. And this week, after I think like 3 or 4 years of us trying to get our stuff sorted, I am here with Nic from Easy Train Now. As per usual, we've got our little intro written by AI, so we'll see how good he gets it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest interview segment. Today, we're thrilled to have special guest with us, Nic, the founder of Easy Train Now. With a rich background and a profound passion for learning and development, Nic has been instrumental in shaping Easy Train Now into a beacon for those seeking innovative and accessible training solutions. His vision and dedication have not only transformed the way learning is approached, but also made a significant impact on countless individuals and organizations. Join us as we delve into Nic's journey, explore the core philosophies behind Easy Train Now, and discover insights into the future of training and development. How did it do?
I love AI. I should do my resume and just write everything about me. This is flattery.ai. It's great.
It's, like you've done lots of good things, and it obviously just wanted to make sure that came to the forefront. So tell us in your own words, tell us a little bit about yourself and about Easy Train Now and like what you guys have been up to recently, because you were at Velg. That was one of the places that we got to catch up, but I know you've also been everywhere else in the meantime. So tell us a little bit about what you and Easy Train have been up to.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I actually try and hide. I'm quite introverted, but I find myself in front of lots of people. I think it's a function of what we do as trainers and being engaged in this sector. So that was the reason for the presence at Vel, was to do the networking. But it was very well run. It was very good. Got to meet a lot of great people. And I think for the first time, I don't know if it's a post-COVID thing or what, but there was so much positivity in the air about things, which was good. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a nice there was a nice little air of hope, and I think just relief at everyone being able to catch up face to face, and not be stressed about it again. And I thought that the presence of ASQA there for the whole period and having so many people be able to interact with them was also just fantastic, like really, really positive to see.
Yeah, I mean, we had ASCA, we had the tax office, and they were both really great. And just the way they provided the education pieces was, I think it's more what this sector needs, the proactive education rather than the reactive sort of compliance sort of burden. So that was really good to see.
Yeah, well, lead by example, there is a requirement for regulation, but at the end of the day, the heart of our industry is education. And that should always be, a positive. It should always be a positive experience, really, more than anything.
Yeah, I'm just playing the Jerry Maguire quote, like, help me, help you.
So tell me about Easy Train. Tell the audience about Easy Train for anyone that hasn't seen you. What do you guys do? What do you specialize in? Give it all to me.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. So I started Easy Train for about 2015. That seems way too long ago. With the idea to really enhance and enrich the online student experience. I found there was very disparate sort of approaches to online learning, from PDF online to some really cool stuff, and I thought really cool stuff. I remember I created probably about, I'm not even joking, close to 800 hours of videos for project management, and I aired them once at a conference. This is circa 2015. And everyone was like, man, these videos are amazing, but they didn't know what to do with it. There was no product market fit at that point. They said, do I press play and then my students can watch in the classroom and the lecturer can chill out? And I was like, no. It's kind of like, think about flipped learning, think about blended learning. You can get rid of the theory and then people can engage in class more. And I think we've actually come to that point now where people are realizing the importance and the mixed modalities of learning. So right now, it's a very exciting time for me, where people are actually asking for more and more things, video-based content, stories, sexy e-learning stuff. So we've been spending a lot of our times creating good stuff, which I love, passionate about, love it.
You are. So you're like, I'm mental because I'm passionate about assessment and designing assessments and things like that. That's what I love doing. You love designing, and your word for it is always sexy training materials.
Yeah.
But like, so why training materials? Like, how can good training materials enhance the experience for those that might not know?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I always think of the training and that side of things sometimes as the forgotten middle child of the RTO world. The focus is on compliance and things. And I'm not, disregarding its importance, but it's on the endpoint. And we need some sort of strength and rigor in the qualification system that we provide to students. But I think sometimes we do lose that student experience. Some people actually really want to learn. They want to get past that bar. They want to work in the profession, or they're working in the profession. So for me, having access to great learning to support that is essential, which is why I'm so passionate about it. Personally, I've been through a lot of mixed delivery models as a learner, through university and the vet sector, and I've seen it all. I've seen some really good stuff, but the majority has been very apathetic approaches to online learning, which I just feel if we can limit that, everyone wins. The sector grows in popularity. We get more students. We get happier students. I just think it's a no-brainer for me.
Why, like, what? Because you're right about the middle child in relationship to, like, even I have conversations with people and they'll be like, oh, what can you buy? Like, what are your services? And we go, well, we specialize in, like, highly contextualized assessments, and we build to your model, into your cohort, et cetera, et cetera. And they go, oh, okay, yeah, that'll be fine. I'll just go and buy, training materials, or we'll just whack up why is it that you think that RTOs struggle with training materials, with understanding training materials, with implementing training materials? Like, where do you think it all comes from?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk just anecdotally. I managed an RTO, ran an RTO for quite a while. It was a corporate RTO. So the learners actually cared about the materials, which for me was, like, I thought that was the norm. Sometimes we found ourselves very stretched, so capacity is probably the number one. You've got X amount of people hours, you've got X amount of things, you've got competing demands. I don't know if you know the Covey matrix, but you've got things that are urgent and important 24/7. And I think often that displaces the priority of enhancing the resources. We've got enough to get by, or we can buy it. And I think there are good intentions that often do get displaced by, commercial realities. We're running a business, we're trying to do all these million things. So number one, I'll put it down to, capacity. Do we have the time? Is it a priority? Number two probably is capability. The other C, do we have the requisite ability, the subject matters. Sorry, my brain is broken because jet lag. Subject matter experts. Clearly, I'm not one of these SMEs. Do they have instructional design skills?
Yeah.
And I'm going past the whole TAE thing to say, well, that's the minimum standard, but can they actually construct things that a learner can be engaged in, can learn? Does it work to the modalities? And also, I think a lot of RTOs are serving different masters. So when we create courses for fee-for-service and funded RTOs, we get very different inputs and different requirements. For example, fee-for-service want to replicate the workplace. So in project management, I'll speak to that. They want it clustered. They want all the units at once, because then it follows the project lifecycle. You're doing scope, time, cost, risk, everything together. Whereas a lot of the funded...
is so badly written that like, I have had conversations about this, because that whole qual should actually be delivered as clustered, because it's end to end. Like, they haven't written the units they've written, it's badly designed. So writing it in a clustered and delivering in a clustered is the only way that makes sense to a learner.
And that brings the fundamental paradox. We're working with one RTO at the moment who we've designed this program for, and their funding authority says you're overloading students by having all these commitments, concurrently. And you're like, but that's the way things work, So it's very interesting.
Yeah. Because it's not like you go, okay, well, let's work out the scope for the project. Okay, now, scope aside, let's work out the budget for the project. It's like, no, you have to go scope. You have to look at the scope and the budget and the HR and the this, and you've got to consider it all at once, because otherwise
100%.
you're not going to be able to run the project.
Exactly.
But yes, from a funding perspective, they go, you've got more than 6 units open. You can't do that.
Yeah, I don't understand that world because I've never worked in the funded world. But when they come back and they're like, "Oh no, you can't have all these things," I'm like, "But you need to. They're not mutually exclusive. They have to be integrated." Yeah.
Yeah, it's challenging. So, okay, I'll play devil's advocate here because
Play devil's advocate. Let's have some fun.
here's the argument that I get all the time for
Yeah.
resources. But look, it's all really easily set out. We just take the performance criteria and then we chuck that into ChatGPT and we ask it to spit out 2 or 3 paragraphs, and then we can just put all of that together. And it only takes a couple of hours to make a training material. So I don't understand why you could possibly charge so much for it.
Yeah, I mean, so number one, like we work on a per user model, and RTOs, we've got a really good case study that I had to create for someone. But we actually worked out we actually saved them a buttload of money. With the resources. That's a different story altogether. So the cost we can definitely work around. But the AI challenge, I mean, it's expanding at an explosive rate, and there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. And I think we've got to work with AI. It's great, but it will often confidently give you things that are incorrect. And, then your students will repeat it and so on. Also, I find there is a way to get information made quickly, which is fine. But a lot of people, that's not learning. We're transferring information, but might not be changing their mindset. We might not be making them think differently. I find, generationally, humans, we've learned through stories. So a lot of the resources we have are interviews with subject matter experts. Well, I can say this properly now. Great. We connect with industry, ask, how have you done it? People share their lessons learned. They share their personal experience. People remember those, they remember the big failures. They remember the success stories. And often there is a dissonance between academia and, practice. So AI, if you ask it, hey, in your experience, what are the top 5 mistakes a project manager makes? It will tell you the top 5 mistakes it's got from Google, but hearing someone go through and contextually apply their lessons learned in a project, for me, I think that's something that someone will remember for 3-4 years after the training, and when they're actually in the workplace, they'll actually have the skills. So I think there is a lot more longevity in that human designed approach. I'm not saying AI can't do it. I'm just saying at the moment, I feel that that's probably one of the biggest cons. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, we will be back in just a minute. For those of you that are watching online, thank you very much. My name is Lauren Hollows, and I'm here with Nic from Easy Train, and we will be back with another video very shortly.